Welcome to Stories Podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Weldin. Today's story is an episode from the African Folktales with Miss Jojo podcast. African Folktales is a podcast where Miss Jojo takes kids to magical lands where animals talk and people fly. If you like this story and want to hear more, just search African Folktales with Miss Jojo on your favorite podcast app or visit africanfolktalespodcast.com. Thanks! Enjoy the episode!
Once upon a time, there was a farmer with a rocky little plot of land. Nothing much grew there, despite the best efforts of the farmer, his wife, and their 3 sons. Months of hard work, hoeing and planting and tending, would produce spindly little corn stalks with skinny little cobs. They looked more like scarecrows than something you would want to eat, and the family would have gone hungry long ago if it wasn't for their precious cow. Her name was Mwongo, and she had a little bit of magic about her. She always gave twice as much milk as any other cow, and she could even talk a little. The milk was churned or traded, and it was what kept the family fed throughout the hard months. The talking, that's what got them all in trouble. It all started one day when the cow wanted to take a special trip. "Farmer," she said, "I'm hungry today." "Well, you can graze in the yard all you like." "I want to go to the meadow," she said. "Can we go, please?" The meadow was over an hour away, and they usually only went there on special occasions. However, it had been a while, and the cow was precious to the farmer. He didn't like to tell her no, but he was getting older, and he wasn't quite up to the long walk. Instead, he asked his oldest son to take the cow out to the meadow. Being a good son, he agreed right away. "Okay now, an hour or so through the woods," he told his son. "There's a great meadow with soft grass and a lazy little stream. You can take the cow there and let her eat and drink until the sun gets low. It's a little far, but it's her favorite place." "Yes, father," said the oldest son. "I'll go right now." He took Mwongo the cow and walked her deep into the forest, following his father's old trail. About after an hour, he came upon a lush meadow. The grass was tall and green and soft as silk. Nearby, the little stream bubbled and bubbled gently, the grass growing right up to its sandy shore. "Here you are, Mwongo," he said. "Eat up and take your time." "Thank you," she replied. Mwongo mooed and began to graze. She ate the soft grass until her belly was round and then filled in all the rest with cool water from the stream. The oldest son sat and waited patiently for her to finish. When at last she was full, he led her gently back home. "Well, how was it?" the farmer asked. "It was good," said the son. "No problems at all." But the cow was feeling mischievous. She knew if she lied, she could get another special trip to the meadow, so that's what she decided to do. "It was bad," she said. "Your lazy son tied me up in the woods and took a nap all afternoon. I never got to the meadow. I never even got a bite to eat." "What?" said the son. "I would never." "How could you do that?" the father asked, instantly believing his cow. "Mwongo is too important to our family to mistreat like that." "But father..." "But nothing. Go. Stay with your aunt in the city. I don't want to see your face around here again." The oldest son started to argue again, but the farmer just turned his back. Seeing it was no use, the son sighed and headed off to the city. The cow laughed to herself. Everything was going according to plan. The next day, Mwongo came to the farmer again. "Since I didn't get to go to the meadow yesterday, maybe I can go today?" she said. "I was just so hungry after being tied up to the branch." "Of course," the farmer said. still upset with his lazy son. "Let me just go get a more reliable boy." He called for his middle son. "Okay now, an hour or so through the woods," he told his son. "There is a great meadow with soft grass and a lazy little stream. You take the cow there and let her eat and drink until the sun gets low. It is a little far, but it is her favorite place."
"Yes, father," said the middle son. "I'll go right now."
Whistling a little tune, the middle son led the cow down the path into the meadow. There, the cow happily munched on grass and drank from the stream all afternoon. The boy whistled and watched and made sure that Mwango had everything she needed. They finally headed home that day and got back to the farm just as the sun began to set. "How was it?" asked the farmer.
"It was a nice day," the middle son said. "The meadow is beautiful."
The cow figured if her trick had worked once, it would probably work again.
"How would you know what the meadow is like?"
Mwango said.
"You tied me to a tree and played games with your friends all day. I haven't had a bite to eat."
"What? You are lying," said the son. "I can't believe you would do that to our precious cow," his father said. "Pack your things and go join your brother in the city." The middle son started to argue, but he could see it was pointless. He packed his things and went to join his older brother. The next day, the cow pulled the same move.
"Farmer," she said, "can we finally go to the meadow today?"
"That sounds fair," the farmer said. "I'll send you with my baby boy. He is good and has never once lied to me or his mother." The farmer called his youngest son in and told him about the meadow. The son agreed right away.
"Of course, father," he said, "right away."
He took Mwango and led her to the meadow. The cow once again ate all the tall green grass and drank from the bubbling river and just had another wonderful day. When they went home that night, the cow already knew she was going to pull her trick again.
"Farmer,"
she cried before he could even ask.
"Your youngest son left me tied to a thorn bush all day. It was the worst one yet."
Of course, the farmer lost his temper again. And of course, his youngest son joined his brothers in the city. The next day, the cow decided she could do her trick one last time. She asked the farmer for a trip to the meadow. And having no more sons at home, the farmer decided he would make the long walk himself. It took him a while to make his way slowly down the trail. But the sun was warm and the breeze was cool. He sat on a comfortable folding chair while Mwango ate grass and drank from the stream, and they headed back that afternoon, full and happy. When they got back to the farmhouse, the farmer's wife was waiting outside, working on some weaving. "How was the meadow, you two?" And here the cow thought she could pull her trick one more time.
"It was terrible,"
she said.
"He tied me up all day and we never even saw the meadow."
"What? Why would you lie?" the farmer asked. "Yes," his wife said, who had watched him make the long walk and was more trusting than her husband. "Mwango, why are you lying to me?" "Wait," said the farmer, suddenly despairing in his realization. "You lied about my sons too, didn't you?"
"Well,"
said the cow. "I can't believe it. Why would you do that?"
"I wanted to keep going to the meadow,"
Mwango said, laughing.
"I tricked you and your sons too."
"How could I have been so blind?" the farmer said. "I trusted the cow over my own sons." The cow just kept laughing. "You have to fix this," his wife said, and the farmer nodded. The next day he took his precious cow to the city. Since she had a little bit of magic about her, he was able to sell her for a good price. And with the money, he bought a few normal cows that couldn't talk and also couldn't lie. After that, he went and got his sons from their aunts, apologizing over and over for not believing them. "The cow just meant so much to me," he said. "But I realized the only reason I cared about the cow was because it helped me take care of all of you. I lost sight of what's important. Can you forgive me?" Of course they did, and they all went home with the new cows, where they lived happily ever after. The end.
Thanks for listening.